Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how do you get a good sleep, or what are the best practices of getting a good sleep. Now, this is a wide topic. I have been reading up and I've been listening to a whole bunch of opinions, both scientific, non-scientific, run-of-the-mill blogs from researchers and everything. I have read up as many as uh, journals and articles available, listen to various things. So what I've done is that what I mean, there is certain items which seems to be very common and everybody recommending, both medical and non-medical, both from the medical and non-medical fraternity. And then there are people sharing their own experiences. So I've culminated all of that, and what I'm going to read out is a couple of things which seems to be absolutely common, which is like a testimony that people have found usefulness by following it, uh, to have a good sleep, or if they have a sleep disorder, um, how have they overcome over a period of time. So again, as I mentioned, like, this is not something which I'm endorsing, that whatever I'm going to say that is the best, but this is what I have been able to find out by following and reading as many as journals as possible. Again, there is no clear cut and 100% definitive answer, but this definitely works. It seems like most of the people have been vouching for it. So first and foremost thing is things that you should not do, the do's and don'ts. So try to fix up a time when you go to bed. So one day you go to bed at 10 o'clock in the night, the other day you go at 12 o'clock, the other day you do at 2 o'clock, and then again you come back at 10 o'clock, again you go to sleep for 12 in the night. Most of the journals, most of the medical fraternity says that try to avoid doing that. It's understandable that you may not be doing it intentionally, but that's how your life, or there was some urgent need, or there is some work which had to be done at the last moment, or you had to attend to something. That could be once off, but it cannot be a regular thing, like 7 days in a week, and all the 7 days you sleep at 7 different times. That cannot be possible. Or you, in 7 days, you sleep at 4 or 5 different times, like couple of days at 10 o'clock, the other couple of days at 12 o'clock, one day at 2 o'clock. That cannot be. I mean, try to avoid that, if it is avoidable. Again, we know what kind of lifestyle people have. Why do we have issues with sleep, not getting proper sleep? We wake up in the morning a lot more tired, we still feel drowsy, we don't feel that we are energetic, we haven't had the right sleep and the right resting. So try to avoid and try to fix up on a time, that if I go to bed, I'll try to go to bed between 11:30, or 12, or 10:30, whatever is comfortable, whatever is your routine. So that's one thing, that try to fix up a time and try to work around that. Make your priorities around that. I mean, if you are having a late night call or a late night chat with a friend, and you see that the chat is dragging on and your time of going to bed is 10:30, I mean, just mention it that you have to go to bed. I mean, a friend in need has called you up, or there is something which has happened within the family which requires a longer chat in the family, or somebody, one of your relative has called up and you are having a discussion on that, and it's rude to cut short that discussion. Definitely take a conscious call at that point in time, that if that person needs your support, and you have the conversation. But don't get into a habit like you get into late night calls every time, and then the other person is having a chat with you at leisure, and you are delaying your time of going to bed. So fix on a particular time range. The other thing is, which seems a lot of people have this thought process, is just before you go to bed, avoid television, avoid any aggressive game shows, if I would say, playing games or game shows which is very aggressive in nature, very stimulating to your mind, not cognitively or not intellectually stimulating, but it makes you a little aggressive kind of a thinking. So basically avoid TV shows or playing games on your system before going to bed. Because it 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 just it's quite the opposite of making you ready for a sleep. It makes you more attentive. It makes you, there is flashy lights on your eyes, and your body enzymes and your body ecosystem doesn't work. It's completely opposite to to preparing yourself to go to sleep. The other thing is that a lot of people listen to music, loud music, very very loud music is recommended to avoid just before you go to sleep. And this is something which I'm saying that, I mean, that is the last activity that you're doing before you go to sleep. So watching a television or a game show or playing games is the last activity before you feel that you cannot go on anymore. You're feeling a lot more tired, or you're listening to a very loud music and you feel that you're so tired that you cannot go on, and then immediately you drop everything and you go to sleep. So don't do that. So just avoid listening to loud music, televisions and so forth just before you go to sleep. That's as the last activity. The other thing that you can do so these were don'ts. Things that you can do is definitely water your eyes before you go to bed. Cold water, but not like icy cold water, just like normal room temperature water that soothes your eye. And reading, again, reading a hard copy. Opinions are divided. I'm not saying that I'm for a particular opinion. It's just that it seems like opinions are divided. People are reading on Kindle, people are reading on their tablet, versus people are reading a book, a hard copy one. But it seems that more of the voting or the inclination is towards reading. Definitely reading as the last activity of the day just before you go to bed. So you could be sit and read, or you could be lying on your bed or just half reclining and reading. But it seems that reading is the topmost option for having a good sleep. So that's one thing. The other opinion is reading and writing. People, I mean, some of them are saying is that that's probably the best combination that you can do. Just before you go to bed, you read, and you probably write a couple of things, a couple of pages, or if you have to note down certain things. So those are the two things. But definitely reading stands out. Reading and writing stands out to have a good sleep. Because what happens is that if you're listening to all those kind of musics or game shows or television shows, you take that and you sleep over it, there is very high chances that the first thing when you wake up in the morning, those musics could be running at the back of your mind. You might feel that there is a lingering thought around what you saw, what you heard on the show. You don't want to sleep over those. Rather, you can sleep over something which you have read. You can sleep over those what you have read and have written. You could have a fresh idea about what you have written last night. You could have a fresh perspective of what you have read last night. You could have a fresh perspective in the sense of what you understood of what you have read last night. That's a far more healthier way of going to bed and waking up. And of course, from another personal perspective which I could add upon, is just before you go to bed, as you are going to sleep, say a small prayer. Just have a quick recollection of the day that has gone by, things that you have done, things that you are thankful of, and just a small prayer. And make the prayer, say the prayer for everyone in the sense like, let there be peace in the world, let there be peace and tranquility in everyone's family, let there be peace and tranquility among all living beings in this world, let there be an ecosystem of harmony, let there be total peace around your surrounding and environment and the larger environment, thinking about good for everyone, wishing best of luck for everyone. Get into those kind of a prayer, not about only yourself, but about everybody's well-being. And although we are talking about going to bed, the first thing that you should do about once you wake up is say a small prayer. The first and the foremost thing as you wake up, the first and the foremost thing is that you should say a small prayer. Let this day be good for everyone. Let this be a productive day for everyone. Let there be happiness. Let there be peace and harmony around the environment. Let there be peace and harmony that you can bring, and you can be productive for others who might need your help, and so that you have a larger heart, you have a broader perspective. Ask for strength for being generous, being good, and not to be impulsive, and get into a form of wherein you can bring happiness and not harmfulness. Say a small prayer at the end when you're going to bed. Say a small prayer when you just wake up. That's a beautiful way of ending the day and starting the day, and that's how being a better human being. Take care. Bye bye.